Hey guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today because we have a really great project. I'm showing you in Silhouette Studio how to create your very own custom crossword puzzle. Hey guys, so here we are in Silhouette Studio, and we are getting ready to set up our Mother's Day crossword puzzle, our custom Mother's Day crossword puzzle. And of course, you know, we keep saying this is Mother's Day, but truth be told, this could be used for a great gift any time of the year, especially if you have somebody who already loves crosswords. It's not limited to mothers, it's not limited to parents. Okay, this just makes a really neat display item, and you can also make one for yourself. You can make one for your own family. So completely up to you. First thing you want to do is I want to go ahead and set up for the size that I'm going to make this. Now, I'm just doing this for an example, so I'm just going to make mine letter size. But it's important to go ahead and set those parameters of what the size of your project. So if you're putting it on a shirt, if you're putting it on a clipboard, if you're going to put it on a frame, go ahead and take those measurements, all right? Because you don't want to set this up so that your letters are too small or too large, okay? You want it to look good based on the size of your project. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open my text style panel, and I'm going to have that handy. And over here on the left hand side is where I'm going to create text. Now the very first thing that I want to do is I want to type out all the words, or rather in this case the names, that I want to be on this crossword. So I'm going to just imagine I'm making this one for my own mother. So it's myself, Becky, and I have one brother, Bobby. And then let's go ahead with the grandkids. We have Braden, Christian, Madison, Hayden, and Jasmine. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill these in. This is more of a visual. It doesn't change anything for cutting. But I also want to be able to choose a font that I like, but a font that also looks good. So you really don't want to go with like a super quirky font. And if you can find a font that is a little bit thick, then that will definitely help. The one that I kind of liked was this one here. It has a bold, a light, a normal, and a thin. I feel like it's pretty easy to read, but it's still on the cutesy side. Does that make sense? Of course, I mean, there are a ton of fonts that you can find on fontbundles.net, but I think we're going to go ahead and use this one. It's basic, but cute at the same time. Now, the next thing I want to do here, I'm going to use a shortcut on my keyboard, Control Left. I'm just going to give myself a duplicate. So I'm going to go ahead and probably make this text a little bit smaller. I don't want it to be overwhelming, but I also don't want my my puzzle to be too small either. So let's stick with that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to ungroup these, and I'm going to, for the moment, I'm going to regroup them by name. Now let's get those off to the side, and the reason I made a duplicate is so that I can have an editing copy here, and what that means is I can come in and start filling in random letters that I want to. Let's start off by planning where we want to put these names. We probably we can kind of go maybe in a random order, but then some of these too we'll be able to do like diagonal, and I promise this will all make sense. This is the planning stage right here. So of course, you know, I do better planning, in my opinion. I do better planning on my computer. But if you don't, and you want to write this out, you want to do this part on paper, that's fine too. Okay, completely up to you. Okay, now, you know, I've filled mine in with names, but guys, and I should have said this in the beginning, if you don't want to do names, that's okay. You do not have to do names, but you can definitely fill in with words, you know, that make you think of your recipient. You know, so, you know, say this is your mom, you know, you could fill it in with love and mother and, you know, just whatever comes to your mind. Okay, so I have a tentative layout, and what I want to do, I'm still going to create another one, but I'm going to line this up here. And what I want to do is I want to line it up so that it connects with the far left and the far top of my design. And we can just type in random words, random letters rather. So once that's done, let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to create another one. And we're going to do the same thing. Let's make one more change here, guys, so it's easier for you guys to see and follow along. Let's fill those original names in with red. Okay? That way we can find them later. But I won't bore you guys with this part, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to create several lines of text, and then I'm going to be able to space those out and fill in my whole puzzle. Okay, so I'm not going to go super fast on this one, but I'm going to speed it up just a little so that you guys don't have to, listen to me try to fill the awkward silence, okay? All right, so I've done the basic editing. All right, I've filled in. I did try to go ahead and insert the letters where I could see them intersecting with my lines. So let's go ahead and we're going to get rid of, I'm going to go to select by color and just select that red and slide that on over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup all of these, and I'm going to regroup and recenter. So I'm going to use my drag box and select all of these letters that are last. I'm going to come over here and center those and group them. And I'm going to move them over. And all I did was hold down my shift key and use the arrow button, okay? And I'm going to repeat that. If there's a letter I can't reach, I'm just going to come in and grab it like that. So we're going to center, group, move over. And you can tell here, like, I'm starting to get, kind of get ahead of myself. That just means that I had some skinny letters versus thick letters. So I can move those over. But I can just hold down my shift key and select whichever letters I want to. And if that means that I have to remove some rows, well, that's fine too. Okay, so overall that went pretty smooth. I did end up with a couple letters that I need to be able to go in and insert. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup these. I'm going to remove those two letters. So we did end up with, like I said, a few names that I need to be able to go in and reinsert. But we have, here we're going to choose a different color. There's Bobby. All right, I did not end up M-A-D. I needed an I here. All right, so I'm just going to move all of these up one. Okay, so we got Madison, we got Bobby, we got Brayden, we got Jasmine. All right, so let's do Christian right through here. See. Now, guys, we are placing these approximate whenever we're replacing them here in the document. But, this is, we're going to go back and line all these back up, okay? All right, so then I need H-A-Y-D-E-N. Okay, so then one name left. You know what, let's just go ahead and do it right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we can get rid of the rest of this. All right, we don't need those anymore. We've inserted all of our names. Just for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and leave these names blue. I could have left them red, but we'll do them blue now. Blue for good. All right, so then each row, I'm going to come in and make sure that we are, in fact, centered. And then we'll do the same with each column. Now this takes a little bit of work using your drag box and making sure that you only grab the ones that you need. As a matter of fact, as you're doing this, you can go ahead and group these columns back together. Okay, so now we're going to space this out. Maybe not that much, but we're going to select all these, and that's what our spacing down here at the bottom is going to do. Well, we missed that I. Let's get that in there. There we go. Now let's try again. Select everything because it's all grouped together in these columns. And when you select it all and choose your horizontal spacing, it will space them all out evenly. And because we already centered them, these were mostly centered horizontally because, or rather centered vertically, because we already had them spaced out from where we were able to type them in rows. So we don't have to worry about that too much, but if you want to, you can, you would have to ungroup these and then regroup them into rows. So I don't really know if you guys want to get into doing that, but it is something that we can do. So I'll just go ahead and show you. But you're going to do the exact same thing that we just did. Now don't worry if some of the letters look more spaced out than others. That's because some of the letters are just bigger than others, wider than others. Okay, but it's just very important that you have these actually centered to each other. All right, so let's grab all those and do that spacing. So there we go. So that is going to be our crossword puzzle, and we can go ahead and center it here. And there's a lot of things that you can say. You know, you could say my family and pick out a nice pretty font. There we go. And then the other thing that you want to do is you want to get some brush strokes. All right, so we can get rid of our little textile panel there. We don't need that anymore. And what we need to do is go ahead and pick out some brush strokes. Now, it's important that we pick out brush strokes that we don't want them all to look the same. Okay, but we do want them to kind of have the same feel, in my opinion. So like I don't want to do one squiggle and then one big distress. You know what I mean? And remember that these are going to represent whoever is completing that word search. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to grab number 3, 13, 29, and 48. 3, 13, 29, and 48. And I'm just going to drag and drop these over. All right, so let's see what we got. This one may need a little bit of modifying because I am still cutting this out of vinyl. Okay, so I may want to get rid of these small pieces down here. So completely up to you. I can just use my eraser tool. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to make this whole thing black. And I'm going to make these that pretty blue color. I'll go a little lighter. And then what I want to do is send these to back, size this one down. Like this one will go behind Jasmine. Okay, so I'm going to grab it. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to drag it all the way over. Okay, so then same for the next one. I'm going to grab one of these. It'll go behind Christian, zoom in all the way over. And I'll continue to do this until I have all of the names highlighted that I need for my family. All right, did I get everybody? Becky, Bobby, Braden, Christian, Madison, Hayden, and Jasmine. So I did. So what you'll do is you can go ahead and you'll want to weld any script font that you have, and then go ahead and group it together with your actual text, and then group this together also. And then make sure if you do any sizing that you size them together. Mine ended up being a little larger than I thought, but just size it down, keep it together, everything looks good. And then what you will do is you will cut the black, or whatever color, but this time it's black. You'll cut the black out of one, and I imagine this is going to go on something clear, whether it's going to be an acrylic panel, maybe a clear photo frame, something like that. And what I can do is just put the family text on one side, on the front side, and then I can put these blue strips on the back. All right, that's an option that you have. Don't forget that we'll have to weld together any overlapping strips too. So where Hayden and Christian come together right there, we'll weld that part together. But where I'm going with this is, even if you're not going to put it on something clear, then that just means that you'll layer the black on top of the blue. Okay, so definitely lots of things that you can do with this. You can put this on a shirt, you can put it on a canvas, you can put it on wood. We've got lots of projects for you that show you how to use the different materials. So definitely a lot of options. But guys, this is the basics of how you're going to set up to make your own personalized family crossword puzzle. So guys, what did you think about making your own custom crossword puzzle? Now, the one that we use today is a great Mother's Day example, but I really think that these are really great gift ideas. They're really simple and they're versatile. Remember I said you can use them for heat transfer vinyl, you can use them for vinyl, you can even use it for sublimation. There's so many things that you can use these designs for, and they're cute, they're quirky, and I really like them. And now with a simple font and a simple file from Design Bundles, you can make your very own. So it does take a little bit of patience. You guys saw that, but definitely worthwhile in the end. Now I'm going to go and wrap it up for today, guys, but I really appreciate you stopping by. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and give it a big thumbs up if you learned something new, and maybe share with a crafty friend, because we're all in this to learn together. So thanks again for stopping by, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you again next time.